Hi, this is Dan again from CleanGuru. Want to feel better about your cleaning business? No problem. Let me tell you about ours in the early days. Okay, first of all, Tony and I were unfortunately not born with silver spoons in our mouths. We're from working class families. Both of our dads were barbers. Yep, pull out in front of the shop, barbers, in Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, that Toledo, Ohio. Just an hour south of Detroit, home of Jamie Far from MASH, home of the world-famous Jeep, and not so world-famous, but beloved, Toledo Mud Hens minor league baseball team. Stop by in the summer sometime and see them. They're pretty good. Anyway, I guess the important thing to know is that when we started in cleaning, we were anything but a success. You see, we really had no idea what we were doing. We had bought a small cleaning business from a nice enough guy named Jim. Oh yeah, the name of Dan and Tony's new business is, you guessed it, Jim's Cleaning. That got us off to a good start. What else? Let me give you the quick rundown. Ever heard of working capital? Working capital. Yeah, well, we hadn't, or if we did, we had no idea what it was or what it had to do with us. It turns out it's the money you need to run a company, to pay the bills, little things like payroll when you first get started. So here's the problem with this working capital thing. We didn't have any. We had thrown every dollar we had into buying this little beauty of a cleaning business. And so when it came time to pay the bills, more times than I care to admit, we had to break out the plastic. So that's how we were doing with money. As far as vehicles, our grand fleet was a couple of old cars. One was an old Bonneville or Catalina, something that we had bought from my dad, and a horse trailer. Yeah, we picked up an old horse trailer for some guy out in the country so we could haul our floor machines around. Why? Well, because a lot of these great accounts we picked up from the previous owner, well, they were jobs that we'd ended up dragging. We'd have to drag an old auto scrubber and mops and buckets off of, the horse trailer. And we had to drag it into a local hardware or a grocery or a paint store to try to rescue the floors, maybe once a week if we were lucky. Here's the bad news. Running an auto scrubber on those floors wasn't what they needed. Yeah, they needed to be stripped and refinished, scrubbed and recoated, burnished, swept, mopped. You know what they needed. They needed to be maintained. But we weren't getting the okay to do any of that expensive stuff. I'll leave it up to you and your imagination as to how these floors looked and how much money we were raking in from these cherry jobs. Yeah, not so good. Okay, what else? If we did land jobs, we'd run an ad in the paper. But the economy had different problems back then. So it wasn't unusual to run an ad and have no one, absolutely no one, show up to even apply for the job. So we ended up covering a lot of accounts back then. The good news is that my wife Jennifer and I did get into a country club. The bad news is it was one of our accounts, and we were only allowed in at 5:30 a.m. And the only reason we were there was to clean, because the folks we scheduled to work didn't show up or call. What else? Okay, our secretary/office person. She did much more than just handle the accounting duties for us. She also went the extra mile by stealing about $4,000 before we figured out how. You see, in spite of the fact that we had all of her handwritten receipts scribbled on sticky notes that proved she had bought a lot of stamps and office supplies, we never seemed to have any stamps or supplies. I'll try to stop doing this now. See, I told you this wasn't going to be pretty. Anyway, back to the story. What about customers? Well, let's just put it this way. We didn't have many of them either. And frankly, we had put all of our eggs into just a few baskets. So we were counting on a handful of big industrial accounts to keep us afloat. And so we babied them because we thought they would always be loyal to us, stick with us. And we actually believed that fantasy right until they called us to say something like, hey, we don't need you to clean anymore. We're going to go a different direction. The owner's going to have his kids do it for a while in their free time. I mean, how tough could it be, right? It hurt hearing that. But don't worry, I got even with that guy. I think I said something like, oh, okay, before he hung up the phone on me. Anyway, you get the idea. We were completely burned out, financially, emotionally, everything. And we probably would have sold out. Only problem is nobody in their right mind would have gotten within 100 feet of this mess we had on our hands. Okay, I think I've shared enough about our feelings today. That was our glorious start. I hope you found some of it a little comical, but more importantly, I hope you found it, well, encouraging, hopeful, along the lines of, if these two guys can make it, anyone can. Because you see, that's actually about right. Tony and I took that mess and we turned it around into a fast-growing, profitable, and easy-to-run cleaning business. By the time we sold in December of 2008, we were doing over $2 million in business. We had over 125 fantastic employees. We owned our own building. And we had the place running, as they say, like a proverbial sewing machine. And in something that can be as chaotic as the cleaning business, that's really saying something. Moral of the story, we were a mess. And we faced what seemed like endless problems. But we made it work. Just when we were about ready to throw in the towel, we learned a number of marketing and selling and profit strategies that turned things around for us, big time. Those are the things we're going to tell you about in these videos, so you can have the kind of cleaning company that you've always dreamed of having. So I hope you'll stick around. That's it for today, and remember, you can do this. You really can.